Alright guys, so I was just about to run the server for the backend of the application and I got this error here that you cannot find the controller, which we would have moved in the previous video. You can see it here, but you cannot find it. And I had adjusted the namespace so it should be able to find it. But the reason why that is happening is because we haven't updated the autoloader. So we're going to do that. But just before we do that, I'm gonna also continue to fix these as well. Fix the namespace for this so that it picks up everything. So all we have to do is just put /auth, no, /API /auth, and then we can save this and we can do for the rest of them as well. Now in this video, what I wanted to do is to install Axios on the front end because we're going to need that to connect to the back end of our application to get that API connection going. It should. I don't know why Vue doesn't do it, but with Nux you get pre-install, like gives you the option to install it, I think, when you're doing that installation. And I think that's something that Vue should do as well, because I don't remember us getting the option to actually install it. So, and I'm pretty sure it's not there. So if we should look in the node modules, you won't see it there. But I'm just gonna go and do the installation here because it's not really, it should not be anything very much difficult. But you can see here, I don't think there's an Axios in here, but really that's something that Vue should really take into consideration for that, because it will be a much help, because really and truly that's what everybody is pretty much doing. Alright, so I want to go ahead and install Axios, because we're going to need Axios to be able to connect to our API, our Laravel Backend API, because this is what we'll be using. So to do that, I have the CDN open here, and it's in the folder that we're going to be installing this thing in. So we're at client. So what we want to do is just to say npm install, and we want to save this to our dependency. So we're gonna say tac save. We want Axios, and we want also to say view Axios. And we'll press enter, and this should start the installation process, and we'll have Axios installed. Alright, so now that that is installed, you can see if I add 5 packages. We're gonna go ahead now and configure this thing. So we wanna go to client, and then we go to source, and then wanna go to main.js, because this is the main JavaScript file. Everything, I guess, runs through this. So now what we want to do is to go ahead and do an import of Axios. I want to import that from Axios, and I can close that off with the semicolon. We don't really need to, but just to keep that a little bit of structure. So next thing that I want is want to import. I think I'm gonna move these up. So I want to get that structure looking like. So I want to do Axios, that's view Axios, and that's coming from view Axios. So that is that we're importing, and here we want to use it. So we're gonna say view.use, and we want to use view Axios and also Axios. So that is pretty much that, but I'm going to move this up a little bit so that it looks better. You can see that these follow this structure here. So give that a little bit of structure or whatever, even though this is out of place with the color. That's cool. And that's pretty much it. Let's just save this, and we wanna test this thing to see if it's actually working. And I went over to the Vuejs website, and I saw that they had an example here with this API. So you can just see it here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna show you what's gonna come out of the API, which is this right here. But if we go right here, because I guess it's a public API, if we come here, you can see this information. All right, so I'm gonna leave a link to the installation of well, I'm probably just leave it in the description, or just a link to this page that can show you the installation. All you have to do, and that's just it. Let's go ahead and test this API now, if it's installed correctly. So what I wanna do now, what I'm gonna do is just go to pages, but I'm just gonna use the app. I think that would make everything much easier. I'm gonna resize this a bit, and right here I'm gonna put a horizontal rule. So I'm gonna put a horizontal rule. I'm not gonna use any Vuetify stuff yet. These are Vuetify elements, so we're not gonna use any of that yet. But or we could. I could just use a V divider, and yeah, that would be another just another view element. This is just like the H or the horizontal rule, and that's it. So let's now test out this API. So what they said was they're just printing out the information. So I'm gonna put a div as they had, and or curly braces and info. All right, and down here I don't normally have it like this, so I'm not gonna keep it like that. Data is supposed to be a function, and it's supposed to return an object. I'm gonna remove all of this space. Just looks weird. One thing that I want to do is I want to import into this file here. I want to import Axios from Axios. I think we need to do that. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna find it, and Prettier is gonna give us some issues and errors and whatever. And we're gonna just add this here. So this is this right up here, and I think I'm just gonna type out the function that we're going to use. So we're gonna use a mount function mounted, which will run as soon as this component is created. So we're gonna do that, and the reason why I'm typing this out because I want to just explain it a little bit. So we're gonna say Axios, and then we're gonna do a get. So we're gonna do a get request. We are aware of the HTTP requests, and I'm gonna paste this is the API path and our URL. Then Axios will return a promise. This is a promise-based library, and I'm really not even all that sure about what that means. I should really look into that, but I understand how we have to do that then, and we also have a that catch, but that's for errors, so we'll look into that later on. So we're gonna say response, so this is what it's returning using this arrow function, and then we're going to assign the info that's up here. So this info here, we're gonna assign it to the response that we're getting back from the API, and that is pretty much it. So I'm gonna save this, and then I'm gonna run the server, so we can see that if it works, then you'll see it. You will see that at the bottom of the page under the horizontal rule. All right, so uh, the server is finished. I'm gonna open the browser, but you can see that we have some little bit of warnings here, and those are because of prettier and ESLint. So that's just giving us some little issues that we can just fix them up or whatever, but it's not nothing big. But it's just to give us a more structure to our application. That's just it. So let's go to localhost slash 8080, because that's where it's supposed to be. Yeah, so that's port 8080. And you can see here that we have the data from the API as was shown earlier. We have this is the horizontal rule, the V divider. So yeah, I guess our Axios is installed properly and is working properly. That's pretty much it for the installation of our Axios for our application. Now let's fix the autoloader. Let's update the autoloader now. So I'm gonna stop the server, Control C to stop the server, and uh, yes, then we can just see the back directory, and then we can now go ahead and say composer dump autoload, and this should do just that. And when we run our server, we should not get any error like this. All right, so there we go. It's now updated. If we should say PHP artisan server, it should now work fine without any errors. All right, so as you can see, the server started. So if we should go now to localhost slash it's port 8000, we should now see our Laravel application. Yeah. All right, so there we go. Our view uh with our API connected, and with our API working, or Axios working, I should say, and we have our backend also up to date. So that is pretty much it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.